Good evening, everybody. I would like to call this regular meeting of council to order at 7 p.m. on November the 19th, 2024. We will stay seated for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. As we gather this evening, I acknowledge on behalf of council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. We'll move on to the mayor's address.
Just give me folk with any something on the list.
Okay.
Would you like the actual address?
The actual address, please. Yes. I want to welcome our new CAO clerk treasurer, Luke Bizardi, to our municipality, having completed his first month of employment. Luke has been busy familiarizing himself with our staff, council, municipal sites, buildings, and assets. Luke has also reached out to the county, to Renfrew County staff, and has engaged in senior leadership meetings. Luke is quickly settling in, getting acquainted with our community and our residents. During the month of October, I attended 13 meetings on county and our municipal business. On October 22nd to the 24th, I participated in the Municipal Agriculture Economic and Development Planning Forum. This was an excellent event organized and hosted by Renfrew County Economic Development staff, which included a farm tour showcasing 6 local agriculture businesses. They included Hedgeview Farm Organics, FePro Farms, Valley Bio Limited, Ottawa Valley Farm to Fork, Farm Fresh Produce and Market Stand, and Hoogley's Blueberry Ranch and Country Market. On November the 1st, I attended the ribbon cutting for the newly renovated paramedic base in Eganville, which provides more space for emergency vehicles and paramedic staff and includes 2 new VTAC treatment rooms. I want to thank our Recreation Committee for organizing the Halloween party in partnership with the Rankin Cultural Recreation Center on October the 26th, 2024. The families who attended had a great time. On October 24th, 2024, the municipality received the 2025 billing statement for OPP services. This statement indicates an increase of $107,000 for OPP service, which is a 21% increase from 2024 and represents a 3% levy increase. The average increase in Renfrew County was 20%. And the reaction from municipal mayors was an immediate plan of action to lobby Roma, AMO, and the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus for advocacy for provincial funding to offset these significant increases. I've attached a summary of the municipal increases, and today there was also a letter, and I believe it's attached to the agenda from the Wardens Caucus. And again, voicing the very same concerns about the significant impact that these increases are going to have on municipalities. So that is my mayor's address. And I have a resolution that the November 19th, 2024 mayor's address be accepted as presented. Moved by Councillor Buckmold, seconded by Councillor Birch. Comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? Seeing none, then we'll move to the adoption of the minutes, and I have a motion that the September 9th, 2024 Recreation Committee minutes and the October 15th, 2024 regular council minutes be approved as presented. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Buckland. Are there any additions, corrections, or omissions? Seeing none, all in favor? And that's carried, thank you. We have no delegations tonight, so we'll move on to reports. And item 7.1 is the New Horizons for Seniors. And I have a motion that council approves the New Horizons Seniors Music Jam use of the Golden Lake Community Hall in 2025 for 12 once per month 2-hour rentals throughout the year, and agrees to waive the $960 rental fee. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Buckland. Comments, questions? Councilor Ricky Schoenfeld.
Do they clean up after themselves?
Yeah.
Do they? So basically then, we as the township wouldn't have to worry about like having our custodian for it?
Well, I'd say toilet paper is a constant issue. Like renters are always, like it would be nice to have some kind of way we could maybe even put more rolls or something like that, that are accessible. But, and paper towel and that kind of thing. But, in terms of cleanliness, that group is very cleanly.
And how many people do you think on average?
At that event, I'd say maybe 45 on average, because there'd be a lower month with like 30 and a higher month with like 65. So I think it depends on the time of year. Like in August, for example, there's a lot of other activities going on, so there were less people, but now that it's getting colder out, more people will come. But just in terms of your custodial comment, like in the winter, boots coming into the hall, it pretty much always needs to be clean. Like, yeah, I would say, I mean, like you could ask them to sweep or mop the floor or something like that, but that would be a concern in the winter, I would say.
And how do you advertise for the events? Like what are the topics of the events, or how do people know?
So for that specific event, it's advertised with the seniors, like the Eagle District seniors advertise it. We actually don't advertise it. I would say, like, whenever I am able to attend this, I try to take a video or pictures to post online, and I find that does generate a lot of interest. Like like the live videos of some like the Ottawa Valley songs and things like that do generate a lot of traffic to our social media. But in terms of just general advertising, we haven't really generated for that.
Because I'm just wondering, because one senior said she didn't know about what was going on. I'm just wondering if we could put it on our social media platforms, or if we knew a calendar of events or something.
Yeah.
Councilor Robinson.
And just to note, the seniors do have a calendar that goes out with all the newspapers and on their website as well.
Because a lot of people do get the info meter, but not everything.
So nobody's getting any mail right now.
Yeah, can you maybe recommend some places to post that? Just like besides the leader, like
I'm thinking the grocery store would be great.
grocery store. Okay.
And I'm not sure if somehow you could do it at the 2 landfills, because lots of people always bring their garbage, right?
Totally, we absolutely can.
So I mean, those would be 2 places.
We could put it on our electronic sign here, because I think a lot of people read it when they are dropping off their garbage.
And maybe a gas station or 2.
Food line,
Yeah, grocery store.
food mart.
Food Mart has said no before, just because it's hard to keep up with all the posters and everything, but Food Mart definitely.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 7.2 is the fire service agreement with Pointer Valley. I have a motion that council accepts this report as information and executes bylaw 2024-62 to enter into a fire protection agreement with Pointer Valley Township. Moved by Councilor Burns, seconded by Councilor Buckland. Comments, questions? Councilor Ricky Funkel.
The paragraph 7 deals with insurance requirements, so I went back there, but what did that really pertain to?
The Pelican Valley added what they felt was a requirement for insurance.
Okay.
And it exists, did you, you should have got a copy of,
I did,
yeah, so,
but I was just wondering what they had added, that's it.
that was that whole paragraph.
Oh, the whole thing,
Yeah, so the automotive liability insurance, non-automotive coverage, medical malpractice, general liability. All of that is what they added.
okay, because I wasn't sure if they had added the whole thing or just had added part to what we have here.
No, it's the entire paragraph.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Two. Item 7.3 is the Eganville District Seniors Needs Association for an increase, a funding increase. And the motion reads that council accepts the EDSNA request for increased funding report as presented. And that council provides the 1,500 increased funding in 2024. And further that the 2025 EDSNA budget be increased by 1,500 to 6,500. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Barrett. Comments or questions? Councillor Bucknell.
I think that's the best bet is to put it in the budget for next year. At this time of the year, it's kind of getting to be making a lot of changes.
Councillor Ricky Schultz.
I would tend to agree with Councillor Buckwald, and I'm just wondering if they asked BV for an additional increase. Like 2/3, if 1/3 is 1,500. I'd like to know that. And if BV is increasing the amount that they're gonna donate in 2025.
Would staff be able to follow up on that to see? Councillor Robinson.
The 1,500 in 2023 wasn't that supposed to have been a one-time thing?
I believe at that time it was a one
Yes.
time.
Yes.
But I do agree with, sorry, go ahead.
I just want clarity, is so the 2024 amount is not going this year? It's just increasing the budget for next year.
I believe that's the will of council.
Okay.
I certainly would agree with that. I think that's makes the most sense. Do I have to amend this resolution then?
We got.
Was that not some brownie paying for that?
I have no idea.
I don't believe they do.
It didn't sound like that when I read the report or from the letter to our employees. It just sounds like us.
I know part of Mr. Bromley is in the catchment area, so I don't know whether, I can't recall whether or not they actually put any money forward. But I believe they do, because we do have, they are representative on their board from Mr. Bromley.
And I know our Meals and Wheels now services residents in their community.
Yeah,
And I know some people that drink that much around, and means that's when you
I think as far as memberships, it doesn't matter what municipality you come from, you can join.
that's correct.
So you're gonna put up a new,
I think just to
Or do
make
we
it
just-
easier for Luke this evening, we won't do that back and forth. I have taken and I've stricken out the
The middle
sentence providing it for this one, yes.
So I will just add at the end of the resolution that we accept it as amended. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.4 is the finance policies. And I have a motion that council accepts the following policies and passes bylaw 2024-63 for adoption of the same. First one is the cash checks on hand policy, the credit card policy, the debt management policy, the investment policy, reserves and reserve funds, and year-end surplus deficit policy. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Lockwood. Comments or questions? Councillor Rachel.
I think I know the answer to this because I read the policy, but I'm just making sure. So if an apartment doesn't spend everything that was allotted to them in their budget, then it goes back to that departmental reserve.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to double check. And thanks for all the policies you created. Thanks a lot.
Yes, and thank you for simplifying the whole process and making it a little more understandable as well going forward. I think it will work better. Any other comments? I see none. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 7.5 is the reserves redistribution. I have a motion that council authorize the redistribution of reserves as presented in the finance report. Working funds of 1.3 million. General government, safe restart, $20,060 for, that's part of the safe restart, building maintenance. Sorry, I'll get this right. Safe restart has been eliminated, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that's gone into building maintenance now at $20,060. The municipal hall building is $80,000. Office equipment is $16,000. Succession planning is $20,000. Insurance is $20,000. And doctor recruitment is $16,000.
Minus,
Minus.
leaving the 20,000
Okay.
that we discussed.
Protection and emergency management is 25,000 for municipal disaster. 25,000 for fire vehicles and equipment. $311,032 for fire and building,
Mr. Mayor.
for fire, sorry.
Mr. Mayor, I think you're one ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
The numbers aren't matching up with the report.
Maybe I should just read it off the. Screen. So, the vehicles and equipment is $311,032.
Yeah.
Building is $190,000. The new fire hall is $160,000, but that's a minus. The Rankin Fire Department is $15,000.
Minus.
That's a minus. The Golden Lake Department that's a minus as well, $15,000. And the working funds, fire and equipment, then becomes $261,032.
It's a minus.
So that's a minus also.
So all those minuses equals the vehicle and equipment total of 311,032 and the fire building. So I'm just taking all the little ones and just putting them all together.
Okay. Got it. Couldn't figure out if they were minuses or just dashes. Thank you for
It's,
oh,
it might be easier to read in the report than I'll read in the resolution.
well, actually, maybe I'll just have Jen run.
Sure. Transportation vehicle and equipment, 384,908.10. And then removing the grader of 62,000, I can't even say it,
Komatsu.
loader, minus 32,000, the Volvo loader minus 25,000, the excavator minus 1,908.10. The float, minus 70, is that 7,100?
Yeah.
7,000, I can't see with this angle. The tractor minus 12,000, second tractor minus 10,000, international tractor minus 10,000. The GMC pickup minus 5,000, the Western Star minus 20, Burt Road minus 20, Shawwoods Road minus 40. Regular minus 1.8 million and change, sidewalks minus 14,000. Road sanding salt plus 50,000, roads infrastructure 2,224,404.70. Asset management 50,000, buildings 300,000. So again, getting rid of all those little ones that are specific and putting them into vehicle and equipment and roads into roads. Environment, bird site, $100,000. Under recreation, buildings 50,000, equipment 10,000, and under planning 10,000. So it's redistribution of the working funds as well as some within the departments.
So do I have a mover and a second? Moved by Councillor Burke, seconded by Councillor Barfoot. Comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried, thank you. 7.6 is our asset management plan, and I have a motion that council approves the 2024 asset management plan prepared by PSP Citywide Inc. as presented in accordance with Ontario Regulation 588-17, Section 8B, and that council approves the endorsement of the plan by the mayor. Do I have a move by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Markholm? Comments, questions? Councillor Regerson.
So all the information was put into Citywide, it is like a software, and then the Citywide generates what we see.
Well, I'll speak a little bit, but also let Public Works Superintendent touch on this. So the purpose of this resolution right now is to meet the Ontario regulation requirements for adopting the plan. So since I've been here, just looking for some possible loose ends, and maybe council's even seen this plan already, but to speak to the council's question or.
Yeah, so the city plan has everything that we own and placed into the asset management plan, and we update that as things progress. So equipment, roads, facilities, and yeah, so that's basically how we distribute all of our monies in the future.
So then the software generates all this stuff that I'm reading.
Makes it easy, yes.
Okay. Because the one thing I really had a hard time was with that kind of rainbow graph. I had a hard time, I'm gonna try and find it. This, oops. That I had a hard time, that I really had a hard time understanding. And making any sense out of it.
I didn't make.
Can I see that, Jeff?
The risk
I don't think.
versus value matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very clear. You're better with the actual written.
Yeah, I understood that, because I looked at that, I don't know if like we can ever be in service by citywide people. I mean, I just like to know more of what that is. I did like the fat one, there were certain things that were kind of disturbing, like road network is poor. And one of the other ones was very, very cool. Okay, but it was good to get the information, I was just wondering how we generated all that stuff, and that matrix was a slightly confusing.
And we're already starting discussions for 2025.
Yeah, thanks.
And I believe that's the last step in the asset management plan regulation, right?
Other than on the instance.
Yeah.
So I'm pleased that we do have the plan and that we will hopefully approve it tonight. Going forward, I mean, one of the things that they certainly identified in the plan is that our practice historically has been to replace when assets are at end of life instead of budgeting as far as having a schedule preventive maintenance plan that can extend the life of our assets rather than just doing them once and letting them deteriorate and then having to replace them at the end of their life. So I think it's going to take some work going forward to do that life cycle planning so that we have a better grasp of.
A good example of that, your comment is, surface treatment of roads. So when you surface treat a road, there is a procedure that we must do that within the next 6 to 7 years to put another surface on them. If you don't, it's going to deteriorate to the point where you have to reconstruct the whole road again. Asphalt product is a better product. It lasts 25 years, but there's certain things that need to be done when you're doing an asphalt road to keep it to longevity to 28 years is the year that they say that you need to reconstruct a complete asphalt road. So there's crack sealing and maybe micro surfacing and stuff like that. You know, to do that. But that needs to be, it's part of the plan, right? If you just let it deteriorate until it's nothing, then it's nothing to you anymore. So you wasted that. If the original 2 surfaces of the road, you wasted that at the beginning because you didn't keep up with the surface that you're supposed to do at 7 years and the 14 years and 21 years. Right? It could last as long as asphalt, as long as you just keep putting that surface on every 7 years.
Yes, Jen.
Just so the council's aware, I am going to commence with a 5-year capital forecasting and 5-year reserve, so you can see the beginning of using all that data. So I can't do all of it, but it'll be a good starting point, and I hope you'll grow into a good 10-year plan.
And we just keep our fingers crossed. The province sends us all kinds of money to do it.
And that too.
Any other comments? Councilor Reddish.
Well, we're looking at our buildings, is that trying to make them all accessible too? Is that factored in?
So the accessibility is a big monster in our municipal world right now. On January 1, 2025, it's come into effect. 25 years ago, it seemed like a long time ago, but now it's in effect in January 1. They must be made accessible for the public. And we need to come up with a plan. We don't have a plan at the moment. We have some level of plan, but we don't have the full picture plan.
And I don't think we're the only ones in that boat.
I don't believe so. I think everyone left it to the last minute, and now everybody's scrambling to get these things in order. But I think anyway, we'll get there. It's not too difficult, but it's costly. That's it's not too hard to get it completed. It's just you need the money to do it. Right?
Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.7 is the Roma Conference. And I have a motion that the Roma Conference 2025 report be accepted as presented, and that one member of council be registered through funds from council conference's budget, and one member of staff be registered through funds from administration, conferences, workshops, training budget to attend. And further, that council directs the CAO to submit the following delegation requests to the appropriate provincial ministries for the 2025 Rural Ontario Municipalities Association. One with the Minister of Infrastructure, MPP Kinga Surma, regarding funding for Wilkins Trail, and one with the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry, MPP Braden Smith, regarding the approval for the Wilkins Trail completion. Moved by Councillor Buckwell, seconded by Councillor. Comments, questions? Councillor Ricky.
So just 2 comments. It would be nice, when people go away to conferences or something that, you know, they bring a report back to council, so we know like maybe some things that they've learned or some, you know, connections they have made. And with the other thing with Wilkins Trail, we're looking for funding, correct?
That's right. And it's just to complete that section over the wet area. And that's why we have, at the last delegation, we got a letter of support from the MTO ministry. Because they certainly understand that it would help reduce the Mennonite traffic on Highway 60. But we still need the sign off and approval from the Ministry of Natural Resources in order that we can go forward. So hopefully with the support from our local MPP Akabuski, from the Ministry of the Transportation, that we can, and we also have letter of support from the county as far as their trail network, and this would tie into it. So fingers crossed that maybe we can make some progress there. Councilor Robinson.
I was just going to ask Councillor Schoenfeld. Traditionally, the mayor has always done a report on what took place at the conferences. Are you expecting us?
More detail, maybe. Like, you know, if you said you met with the housing minister, what did you learn from the housing minister?
Okay.
That, you know, if you met with economic development, there were a couple takeaways from that, like, you know, this grant is coming up, or this, you know, or, you know, we met another mayor from a municipality, you know, similar to us, and these are some ways they look at asset management, that kind of thing. I know when we were in education, that's what we would do. If we went away to a conference, it was good, but then at the next staff meeting, we were asked to say, like, what are some things you learned, you know?
Okay.
Just that kind of thing, because sometimes then it starts to make me think about other things we could maybe do or try or something.
I will say that when you have these delegations, a lot of times you don't get much from the MPPs. You get, thank you very much for your presentation. We'll take your information and
Hand you over.
yeah. And you may never hear from them, but anyway, that's
But some of
the
the
workshops you certainly are important.
Because traditionally what I've done is whatever I've collected, I've brought in to the office for distribution. Maybe what I need to do is be more specific with those.
right.
Yeah.
And the other challenge sometimes is when you're doing delegations, you miss out on some of the workshops because you're trying to plan your schedule and according to attend as much as you can. So I will make, sorry, go ahead, Laura.
We will need to know which council member would like to go.
That's right.
I'm unavailable in those dates.
Okay.
And I can't go.
We can.
There you go.
That's Ross. I'm already registered to the county, so
I guess.
If that hours a day.
I think the short story.
that's Councilor Robinson. Any other comments? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 7.8 is the power outages information, and I have a motion that council accepts the report as information. Moved by Councilor Burns, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. And 7.9 is the public works report. And a motion that council accepts this report, 5-year capital roads plan as presented, and that council reviews the presented plan for discussion during the 2025 capital budget deliberations. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Schoenfeld. Comments, questions? Councilor Schoenfeld.
Sometimes there's traffic, one of the things we think about, besides like safety and drainage, is traffic,
Absolutely, I didn't put them all in there,
Yeah.
liability is a big one, and I didn't put that in there, but safety kind of. And a grab that.
Right.
Like, as an example of a liability, like you have a 4-shoot road. So you have 3 kilometers of road that's deteriorated to its end, and it needs to be completed. You have traffic that is traveling to, volunteer caves, they're not local. Most people are coming from different municipalities or different areas, high liability on that road, right? So, then you have a road, like right here, where you live. A little bit of liability, not as much as for a shoot. There's people that are going to the business back there that is pretty busy a couple of times a week, but not as high as for a shoot, right? And you have other roads that you kind of, I made this plan to the point where, so you have a high liability, medium, and then a very low one, but then you kind of throw one small road in with, to make the budget work, right? Like Door Road is completely deteriorated to the no end and westward. Is it a high liability? No, most people that are on that road are just locals that are there, and there's only, maybe 6-7 residents on that road. The liability isn't high, but I mean, the deterioration of the road is complete, it's done, right? So that's why that's how I kind of devised the plan to try to eliminate the first year and 2 to 3 years of the high liability roads, right? Like this year, like Claymore Road is a high liability road. You have a lot of people going into Round Lake, right? And probably just up there using that from the Highway 60. But it is a hard surface road, it's not a surface treated road, it's a hard surface road. It's probably 45 years old, but you're able to maintain that to hold it so it's not, not a lot of potholes and stuff like that. Whereas you get roads that are surface treated roads, they deteriorate like that and they're done, right? So that's another thing. So high liability is surface treated roads that are deteriorated as opposed to asphalt roads that are deteriorated.
And is 50 mils, is that like the standard for paving?
Yeah, that's 2 inches, 50 mils, 2 inches, that's what can be compacted at 1 lift of asphalt. If, so you have other roads that are 2 lifts of asphalt, you would have to lay 250 mil layers down to get to the right compaction of the asphalt.
So something like on Waikiki Road, then like over where that marsh is, then there'd be some kind of construction there, like building it up or.
Well, we have added some gravel in that area. Typically, the rule of thumb is you need to be 4 feet above the water table to have a structural road. You should never put surface treatment on a marshy area road, no matter if it's 4 feet or not. It has no structural value, whereas asphalt has a structural value. So 50 mil of asphalt has the same structural value as 1 foot of granular or gravel asphalt or gravel material, right? So there's a foot of gravel, there's asphalt, the same structure. Whereas surface treatment, there's no structure whatsoever. So you should, that's another reason why the asphalt product is better. I know it's more costly. It's usually about maybe 25% more costly, but over the term of the road, it's cheaper.
So on like the road that goes from Opion to Cobden and then on Mud Lake Road and there's a part on Whitewater Road, what they did was they put, I think, tar and chip over parts of the pavement.
Yeah.
Is that like a new thing? That
Well,
they're trying to
that's
seal that road?
what we were talking about, asset management. So they're trying to save that road, right? So it doesn't have to have a full reconstruction. So right now, it probably was getting, it's called polish. The asphalt will get shiny and it's slippery during winter. So they added a grit surface on that, so it's not so dangerous during the winter time.
Right.
And it'll hold it for 5-6 years until maybe they get enough money to put more better asphalt in.
So what they're doing is just trying to make that last longer.
Absolutely. And safer.
Thank you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're utilizing a new process with that. Is there a membrane that goes on first before they put that surface treatment down? Because there was something in southern Ontario, they were trying it and they had success with it, and that's why the county wanted to test it out as well up here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what they used. I just saw the top part of the surface, but it's called the SAMI. So SAMI is a fabricate, so it holds. It's you may be familiar with geotextile, the black stuff you put in, but it's kind of the same idea, but it's more of a rubbery polymer compound. And it separates the old asphalt of the old road, smooths it out, and then you put anything on top of it to make it nice. So it acts for the thaw and the freeze and thaw and.
So before, when you had cracks in the asphalt, they'd go and blow it out and then put some kind of black and tarry thing in?
Yeah,
Is that what they're trying to do now, is kind of eliminate that and do this?
absolutely.
Do that?
Because it was causing a problem with construction because they have to take that out to build the next road. You couldn't pave over top of that crack ceiling.
Right.
Yeah, so it was, now they're using different things.
Thank you for your time.
So,
Yeah, and I don't know if that Compton Road, if they used that new Sammy
I don't think they, I didn't
technique,
hear.
but I know they've tried it on a couple of the roads.
I think they did it on white water. Or,
It's
no,
supposed,
no.
it's supposed to be very proud of. It's more than one company, Miller Group were the first ones to come out with it, but I think there's a few other people that are using it.
I just know from talking to Public Works at the county that they didn't want to try it until it was tested in other areas, so there are some other counties that have used it and had success with it, and that's why they wanted to try it now, so. Let's hope it works. Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 710 is the Public Works surplus equipment, and I have a motion that council accepts this report, the roll-off and purchase offer by Miller Waste System, and that council approves the purchase price offered by Miller Waste Management System for the total sum of $22,500, and further that the funds received be transferred to environmental equipment reserves. Moved by Councillor Buckwald, seconded by Councillor Birch. Comments, questions? That's all right.
Is that coming into the 2024 budget?
We're receiving this money,
You're getting this money,
yes,
and then you're putting it into reserves?
that's right.
Okay, I was a little confused.
Jeff,
So once the policy is passed by bylaw, you won't need that line. It automatically happens through policy.
Okay. Thank you.
and I did check with Luke, because I had a question from the manager at Ottawa Valley Waste Recovery Center, if they were picking up the bin there, a recycling bin as well.
Yeah, so, forgive me, I am quite new, I know I've been here, I was unaware that we had separate bins
Yes,
at the waste recovery, Valley Waste Recovery Center. But I was made aware of that from the general manager. So I had contacted Alex Levinsky from Special Projects from Miller Waste, and made him aware of that. They are to provide the bins for the hauling. They won the award to Renfrew County. They are offering money for our bins that we have in place. They don't have to, they can just let us have that surplus, and then what would we do? That's about kind of made a kind of hash out a little bit of a deal to get rid of them, because I mean, what do we won't need for anything else. So he hasn't got back to me at this point. So there was 3 bins from what I understand after today's conversation. With Ronnie McMillan.
yes,
So the one is for waste, for garbage, and we have one small one, 22 yarder for fiber, and then a half split one with garbage, she said, for getting maintenance. So they don't have to buy them, they can just give them, let us have them in surplus, but and they would have to provide, Never would have to provide the bins. But they have offered to buy our bins instead of purchasing new ones. But
So when we go waiter station to the transfer, There's a fiber one, and then there's gonna be a garbage one and a recycling one.
They're in place right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because the one takes garbage on one part of it and then
That's right. that's right.
so it'll be the same thing.
Yeah, so what we could probably keep the one full one instead of splitting, because now we're splitting, so one is splitting, so you keep one, so we just waste alone.
Mhm.
And then the other one, you just either Miller would buy it or we have it as surplus.
Right.
Because it isn't very big from what he said, it's only 22 yards, instead of the ones out here are 40 yard dips. And if they don't purchase them, they don't purchase them, and we even surplus.
I appreciate you following up with that because the question was asked and I said, I know there's a report coming to council. I said, I know there was Burnt Road and Shaw Woods included, but I said, I'll make sure we talk about Ottawa Valley Waste, so that will be addressed as well. Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 711 is the Snowdrifters Facility renaming. I have a motion that council accepts the report as presented, and further, the council officially names the property at 675 Snowdrifters Road.
You missed one report.
Thank
You missed how it works, surplus equipment.
Every that,
Should be same, okay.
yeah. Go down.
Yeah, those further down.
Right there, so right there,
Is this a resolution or?
no, that's another report,
Oh,
surplus equipment. One was for bids and one is for equipment.
I don't have that one in my
Resolution.
package.
It's 7:15.
It's 7:15.
Yes, it's at the end of the reports. It wasn't right behind the other one.
Oh,
well, public works is, that's the.
There's two surplus equipment reports from Public Works,
There.
7:10 and 7:15. So we finished 7:10. We can now do a 7:11, we're gonna down to 7:15, unless you would like to go ahead to 7:15.
and the right on 80 days. That's a different report right there.
Mhm.
There's one roll off thing and then one for equipment.
And then there's your monthly one also.
Yeah, one for 50.
Well, can we proceed with the recommendation resolution in this report?
Yes.
So the recommendation is the council accepts the report on public works surplus equipment and the council approves to replace a 2004 Ford F-150, the 2013 GMC 3500 dump, and the 2005 Coyote tractor with attachments as surplus equipment. Do you have the resolution on?
No, sorry, I missed that one.
Can you do one? Please?
Which report is that? Number 15.
Okay, so,
That's very humble.
just what were the implements on the tractor and, where we advertise those?
What were
Yeah,
they? Yeah, so you had a sanding unit, you had a snow blower, and you had a front, blade.
okay. And where we advertise the other, vehicles?
I think typically they put it at the LPOs, from what I've seen the fire department do, that's something, typically what I'll do is I put it in surplus as an ad in the paper and guide everybody to LPOs. to look.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that way everybody kind of, we'll put it online, but, so I would put it on to the LPOs and then guide everybody there through that. Through the paper or whatever.
You'd like to go ahead and go to the next part, I have to go back in and add that one. And you want to add more than that?
Okay, so we'll move on then to 7-11, which was the snow drifters renaming. We'll come back to that, that other topic, this one. So the motion is that council accepts the report as presented and the council officially names the property at 675 Snowdrifters Road. And can we bring up, can you bring up the two final drafts? So the choices came down to Snowdrifters Recreational Park and Event Space or Snowdrifters Activity Center.
And then there was some other, like,
Yeah,
fine details.
scroll down, there was also suggestion to put home with Water Cup and then Water Cup Activity Center and Snow Drifters Activity Center with the Water Cup.
So. Council. Yes, Councilor Robinson.
I am party to the Snowdrifters Activity Center. And having the home of the Boncher Cup seems to be a nice touch.
Councilor Robinson.
So when we discussed it at our recreation committee meeting, they really liked the Snowdrifters Activity Center. They didn't want to add other things because they just wanted to keep it a fairly simple name. And then there was such a big tradition because of the Snowdrifters and all of that other stuff associated with it. They somehow wanted to incorporate, you know, home of the Warwickshire Cup, whether it was like Cameron had done or where they had watermarked it behind. And they wanted the address to stand out more and have the telephone number and the email, the WW Howard, because in the other one, the Cameron had made the email was larger than what the telephone number was. And there was some talk about reducing the Norfolk Wilberforce. But the one that the committee liked the most was
This one here.
the center.
Center.
And then I think if we scroll down, it's the one that has home of the Warwickshire Cup. Yeah. And
Could I just float the possibility of having a separate sign that says home with Monitor Cup? Because I do find that it's busy. I did try to reorganize it at the top, the bottom, but it was difficult to put everything in there. So I love the idea of home with the Monitor Cup, but maybe as a separate sign, like on a white background or something, because their logo has a lot of detail in it. Yeah, or not, it's up to you.
That was actually gonna be my comment, again, I think the main sign for the property of the site, I like Snowdrifters Activity Center. I kind of like the other one that has the event space included, but that's, to me, that's too much for a site name. So I think Activity Center makes a good compromise there, and yes, putting the home of the Warwickshire Cup, again, on a sign that's hanging maybe just below it. Home of the Warwickshire Cup, and maybe the Warwickshire Cup group would like to design that.
Maybe they'd like to pay for it.
But yeah, I would agree that the center one is probably would be my best choice.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I like the idea of like you say, having these separate sign below for home of the Vulture Cup. And I would certainly not be opposed to asking them if they would want to if they pay for that. Yeah,
They can design it
yeah.
however they might choose.
But it would be a nice touch having the two signs, one below the other. Thoughts? That's already told about.
no, I like the idea as long as that somewhere that we do have home of the Warwickshire Cup. So as Cameron would say, they're gonna underneath it, something like when you go into town and Melissa Bishop is, you know, underneath the one sign, that's nice. I think it's important that it's there, you know.
That's really important. So do I have a mover and a seconder then to move by Councilor Buckland, seconded by Councilor Becky Shaw. We have the we're happy with, and we'll do a over the voucher couple. Got that word? That's a record something.
Cameron, will you be able to reach out to the Blanchard Cup people and just tell them and then ask them, so then we can move them?
I have a meeting next week with Monitor Valley and some people from Snow Rivers about the Fire Lake Parade event, so we can talk to them, sure, if that's okay back to you. Yeah.
Any other comments? All in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 712 is the Island View Drive property. I have a motion that council accepts the Island View property report as information. Moved by Councilor Buckle, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments, questions? Councilor Rector.
Just, I'm wondering how long you think that'll take to do that project?
So that is anticipated to be done before the snowfalls. So we can bring the survey back to the council maybe to explain.
Thank you.
Or I shouldn't say the snowfall, but before.
There's a lot of snow on the ground. Good idea.
Yes, right, shortly.
Could be snow tomorrow.
Okay, survey and then today.
Are they?
No.
Did you see them?
Yeah, I seen them there this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's fine.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank
So
you.
before the snowfalls.
Laura, are you good to,
Yes, it'll be at the very end.
you'll be okay? So item 713 is to adopt the 2021 and 2022 financial draft statements. And I have a motion that council adopts the 2021 and 2022 draft financial statements as previously circulated. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Fault. Comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 714 is the Public Works Coyote Tractor. I have a motion that council accepts this report.
That's the one you were looking for, no? Whatever.
No, it's for the trucks.
It was for the trucks and the coyote and everything. It's right underneath the bin one.
So the motion is that council accepts this report, Coyote Tractor surplus equipment, and that council approves an offer of $7,500 from Bromley Farm Supply Limited for the purchase of the surplus 2005 Coyote tractor with attachments.
Mr. Mayor, just a point of order, we haven't declared it surplus yet until we pass another resolution.
Okay, I would agree, yes.
Just.
The software's not ready.
My goodness.
We just do a written resolution and then either can do the software can be updated later.
No,
That will probably put this way.
yeah, okay.
You have a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Can we go back to that one and move, because it was in the recommendation.
If that's objecting to the question for staff, and we have to just print that, a hard copy of that document and just write the resolution on it.
Yeah.
Instead of the mayor having to rewrite everything with the VIN numbers and everything else.
Oh, I agree.
We'll still be writing.
Appreciate it.
Sorry for the meeting.
Or, basically.
And if I may do one more time, just on our document.
It's even easier.
So we'll get back on it. My first trip, we were from all over the time, we did those. If you look.
So the motion is the council accepts this report, public works surplus equipment, and the council approves to place the 2004 Ford 150 and the 2013 GMC 3500 to the dump, and the 2005 Coyote tractor with attachments as surplus equipment, moved by Councillor Burns, seconded by Councillor Buckle. Any comments? I think we discussed it already, all in favor? And that's carried, thank you. And now we're at the subject theme, which is a public works Coyote tractor. And the motion that council accepts this report, Coyote tractor surplus equipment, and the council approves an offer of $7,500 from Brownwood Farm Supply for the purchase of the surplus 2005 Coyote tractor with attachments. Moved by Councillor Burns, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you, that's carried. That's good. 7:15, the Public Works November report. So I have a motion that council accepts this Public Works monthly report and information. Moved by Councillor Becky Schoenfeld, seconded by Councillor Buckle. Comments, questions? Councillor Becky Schoenfeld.
Is it advertised somewhere that we won't be accepting any organic material after December 1st?
It isn't advertised, no, it's, we have one more week and then, let the, attendance tell everybody that's done it.
Okay, I didn't know if you post something. I didn't.
They do post it on, they do post it in the, website.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 9.1 are the non-action correspondence items. I have a motion that correspondence items 9.1.1 to 9.1.10 be accepted as information. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Burns. All in favor? That's carried, thank you. And 9.2.1 is the MyFM project poinsettia. And the motion is that council supports the MyFM promotional poinsettia project through a donation of $249 plus HST from council public relations budget. Do I have a move in this? Sorry, moved by Councillor Buckwell, seconded by Councillor Burns. Luke, did you have a problem?
Well, I was going to mention just before on how we did this is that, I don't know if council supported this in the past, but if we discussed how to present this resolution, so we just presented in the affirmative, and should council not want to adopt the resolution and we just need to be, and decision. So just procedural.
Okay, comments, questions, Councilor Shonko.
So I am opposed to donating $249, even though we probably have money in our public relations budget. I'd rather see that go to a food bank. That's just my opinion.
Councilor Buckland.
I don't think that the word donation is appropriate. We're purchasing a service. So basically, we're investing and we're getting commercial, air commercials out of there. So I don't think donation is necessarily the proper term. It's a promotion that's being put on by FM. Well, it would actually be an advertising expense as opposed to a donation. If it's making that start. Financial person, if that's not.
I didn't read the request, but if it is gonna be a form of ad, yes, I agree.
Councilor Robinson.
I was gonna ask, have we done this in the past?
I don't believe so.
I don't think you actually had come to council in the past. I don't
I don't
recall it.
think so, no.
Because I know we used to do the advertising around Christmas time with Valley Heritage Radio.
Yes,
There
yes.
were spots there that we had. But I don't recall if we would have done that this year or not.
I don't think we did it last year. Councilor Robinson.
Do we have advertising hours with my FM?
No, we no longer purchase those since we bought the Connect program.
Okay.
Any other comments? I'll call the vote, all in favor. Those opposed? It's defeated. And 9.2.2 is the Eagle Leader, and I have a motion that council direct staff to purchase a half page, 10x6 ad for $375 plus HST and the Eagle Leader Christmas edition. Moved by Councilor Byrne, seconded by Councilor Shonko. Comments, questions? But any guarantees that the postal strike will be over by then?
I hope so.
Not looking very promising yet, but
Well, it just means that there'll be a whole bunch of stuff going out in like February.
Based on the phone calls we're getting, to how people are gonna get their leader, it better be over quick.
any other Councilor Robinson?
Have we done the advertising in the reader, the promotion?
I believe we have.
Yeah, so that, yeah.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? And that's carried, thank you. And 9.2.3 is the child welfare funding. And have a motion whereas the council of the Township of North Algona Wilberforce supports the resolution from the County of Brantford regarding child welfare funding reductions and requesting a delegation meeting with Minister Carson at the 2025 Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference. And furthermore, that a copy of this resolution will be forwarded to Premier Doug Ford, Minister Carson, and MPP John Yakubuski, and the County of Brantford. Moved by Councilor Burns, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments? Scary thing is that they've had their funding reduced for the last number of years to a point where they did a delegation at county council and they said there's just no more room for them to do any further cuts without really affecting the delivery of the service. And they're still faced with, I think it's a reduction in their budget of I'm trying to remember correctly, I think it's in the report, but I think it was something to the tune of $500,000. So, yeah, it is scary and they're also losing, families that will do foster care, so the problem gets even more critical. So, seeing no other comments, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 9.2.4 is the redistribution of provincial land transfer tax and GST. Motion reads, whereas the Council of the Township of North Algona Wilberforce support the resolution that the Council of the County of Brantford formally requests the provincial government to consider redistributing a portion of the land transfer tax collected on property transactions to municipalities, and that the federal government allocate a percentage of the GST collected on property sales to municipalities. I think it should be HST. And that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Honorable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, the Honorable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honorable Kinga Surma, Ontario Minister of Infrastructure, the Honorable Paul Calandra, Ontario Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Honorable Peter Bethlen-Falvey, Ontario Minister of Finance, Cheryl Gallant, MPP, Renfrew, Nissipi, Pembroke, and John Yakubuski, MPP, Renfrew, Nissipi, Pembroke, and the County of Renfrew. Moved by Councillor Buckwell, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments, questions? Councillor Buckwell.
When the delegation is done, let's remind the province that they're telling us to look for new ways to fund our infrastructure. We're doing what they've asked us to do.
That's right. Any other comments? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And so we're at bylaws, item 10.1. The execution of the fire protection agreement. Now therefore, the Council of North Algona Wilberforce enact the following bylaw 2024-63, being a bylaw to authorize the execution of the fire protection agreement between the Corporation of North Algona Wilberforce Township and the Corporation of the Township of Poacher Valley. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Reddish. Comments? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And 10.2 is the bylaw to adopt financial policies. Now therefore, the Council of North Algona Wilberforce enact the following bylaw 2024-63, being a bylaw to establish certain financial control policies for North Algona Wilberforce Township. Moved by Councillor Buckwell, seconded by Councillor Burt. Comments? All in favor? That's very good. And 10.3 is the bylaw to appoint signing authority. Now therefore, the Council of North Algona Wilberforce enact the following bylaw 2024-64, being a bylaw to appoint signing officers for banking purposes for the Corporation of North Algona Wilberforce Township. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Burt. Comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Maybe that, Can you bring up the agenda items again, please? Yeah, I just, are there any matters of urgency? Any notices of motion? So we're at the reports from committee, and we have the November recreation report. And a motion that council accepts the recreation committee October report as presented, and that recreation committee member Kevin Clark used his truck and float for the 2024 Edenville Santa Claus Parade. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Burt. Questions, comments? Councilor Wright.
Just a couple things about the report. When we partnered with the American Community Center, there was probably around 35 kids, plus double parents and grandparents, so that was a great activity. With the help of office and the other municipalities, the walking club at Obiongo will be back up and running as of December the 2nd. So that is a great thing. And there's bowling. Christine Clark is running a bowling event November 30th. I think there's still places, there's still spots. So if anybody wants, not many, but there's still some. So, enroll quickly. And I'd like to thank Cameron for all the hard work she's done in terms of trying to rename the snowdrifters, and to thank the committee because they came up with lots of great ideas. And the Santa Claus Parade. So all are welcome to come out on that Saturday morning. We'll be putting the float together. Anyway, we're not going to tell anybody what our theme is because we don't want to get it out there because we have a good, winning group. So I'm so weird. I'm telling you what our song's going to be. Anyway, so thank you. That's if anybody has any questions. Yes.
It's on Sunday.
It's Sunday, but we're getting ready on Saturday.
Oh.
We have to get the float ready. It takes a lot of work to get the float ready.
It's pretty special.
It is going to be special, all right.
And the other thing I'd like to mention is the tree lighting ceremony in Golden Lake on Thursday, November 28th. Yes. So all are welcome there. That's always a great turnout. And maybe that'll be the day it snows. Who knows?
So.
All in favor?
All in favor, yeah. It was very point.
So upcoming meetings and unfinished business, our next regular council meeting will be December 17th, 2024 at 7 p.m. And then at this point, I will need a mover and a seconder for council to go into closed session pursuant to section 239 2D of the Municipal Act regarding non-labor relations or employee negotiations. Moved by Councilor Buckwald, seconded by Councilor Burt. We move into closed from 8:17 p.m. All in favor? That's carried. So I have a motion to council direct staff to proceed as directed in closed session. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Buckwald. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Our confirmatory bylaw, the bylaw 2024-65 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council for November 19th, 2024. It is read the first and second time this 19th day of November 2024. Moved by Councilor Burt, seconded by Councilor Buckwald. Read the third time and finally passed this 19th day of November 2024. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Finally, at this November 19th, 2024 meeting of council adjourns at 9:14. Moved by Councilor Rector Schoenfeld, seconded by Councilor Buckwald.
Hands up.
All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Oh dear.
All in favor?
All in favor, yeah. It was very point.
So I have a motion to council direct staff to proceed as directed in closed session. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Buckwalt. All in favor? That's carried, thank you. Our confirmatory bylaw, the bylaw 2024-65, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council for November 19th, 2024, is read the first and second time this 19th day of November 2024, moved by Councillor Burke, seconded by Councillor Buckwalt. Read the third time and finally passed this 19th day of November 2024, all in favor? It's carried, thank you. Finally, at this November 19th, 2024 meeting of council adjourns at 9:14, moved by Councillor Red Schoenfeld, seconded by Councillor Buckwalt.
Hands up.
All in favor? That's carried. Thank you, we are adjourned.
Oh dear.